Hi everybody, hi Tamar. Welcome to another Q&A about Game of Thrones and more. We have a lot of great questions, so we'll start right to it. River Duran, he says, you guys are actually my fave YouTube channel. Give me a shout out in the next video. Shout out. Dagobert Acadia, one of our top patrons.
Thanks.
She has a few questions. Dagobert wants you to talk a little bit about mystical and non-mainstream beliefs in the story, like Quaith and whatever, Shadowbinders, and compare that to what was going on during the Middle Ages.
In the Middle Ages, you had this esoteric cults, which in a certain period of time grew or and expanded and became very popular. You had the Qatar movements, which is like a philosophy that is similar to Zoroastrianism.
But was it part of Christianity?
It was like a dualistic philosophy, like there is an essence of good and an essence of evil. It was dressed upon like the symbols of Christianity. Instead of this Ahura Mazda, which is the light bringer, let's say, and the forces of good, like in Zoroastrianism, you had like the God, the true God, which is like the ultimate good.
Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, at least one sect of this Qatarism said that the biblical God, like the Old Testament God, is the evil power, and Jesus is like the light bringer. So it's interesting,
It also makes sense if you read it. Like the Old Testament God is not that nice.
No, and
nice.
It was very, Jesus, JC.
Okay, let's go to Brian Linard. So Brian Linard wants to know who is our favorite actors in Game of Thrones, excluding Peter Dinklage because he's so awesome.
We need to decide together?
Yes.
No, I already know.
Okay.
It's Alfie Allen, the one that plays Theon.
Right.
Is, I think, even doing a better job than Peter Dinklage, even. Yes.
Oh no. Sacrilege.
Why?
Why do you think he's so awesome?
He really brought Theon to life and did it really like amazing. A lot of feelings and like true feelings, and he doesn't need to speak. You know.
Right. I like the scene when he burned those two boys in season 2, and then he turned around and looked, and his face was like, "Oh my God, what have I done?"
Yeah, after he cut the head of Roderick, and then his eyes like, wow,
Right.
it was very...
Like I can't stop myself. I know I'm doing the wrong thing, but I can't.
And I'm doomed. It was like, I know I'm doomed.
Right. There are a lot of good actors. Tywin, of course, super awesome. Like the character in the books is kind of a marginal character. You barely hear it or see it. But
so it's a coincidence that the one that plays Tywin is named Tywin, don't you think?
Yes, of course, I remember his name. His name is written right here. Charles Dance. Charles Dance. Boom, boom. So he's so powerful and doesn't even have to do a lot of things, but he has this aura. And Cersei, I think, is very hateable. But then when she does
Lena
Headey, when she does the Walk of Shame, you kind of feel sorry for her, even though you don't want to feel sorry for her.
Yeah, she's a great actress.
Okay.
Actress.
Okay, so Kalki1618 says, visit us in Dubai. We'll organize everything. Just come and talk. Okay.
Sure.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're allowed to go there. Don't think your government will let us in, but we'd love to go. I don't know. I hear it's awesome.
That's great that we have people, our neighbors from the Middle East,
right.
like watching our show. That's amazing.
Yeah, and we can communicate. It's awesome.
Like where the state put the border, the internet flies over it.
That's deep.
I just thought about it.
Okay, so another question from the region. Let me look for it. 1 second. If we are on the subject, we got a message from Marwan El Hashimi. He sends us a lot of love from the UAE. That's so awesome. That's so awesome.
Mhm.
And he says that he thinks our show is getting better. Thanks. And he wants you to talk about Valyrian steel. Is it similar to Damascus steel? Talk a little bit about Damascus steel.
I don't know much about the Damascus steel, like the way they prepared it and stuff like that. But
Nobody knows.
it's supposed to be like the position of the Valyrian steel in Westeros. Like it's rare, it's good, doesn't break.
And did it get to Europe?
I think I can think it like a few copies of Damascus steel. Were like not a possession of a family or something like that. I think in that term it's really similar.
So after I was so happy that Marwan sent us a message, I said, hey, thank you. He said, no problem, achi, which means bro in Hebrew. So shukran, ya habibi, shukran. Tone Rigz wants to talk about racism in A Song of Ice and Fire.
I don't know if there is racism in Song of Ice and Fire.
Well, okay, racism in the Middle Ages.
In the broader sense, racism, when we say racism, we mean like xenophobia, basically, or bigotry and xenophobia, like hating or disqualifying the other.
Right.
So of course, in that regard, most of us, so everyone, is like our racist feelings, like
Not
evolutionary feelings.
No, I don't have that. I'm super evolved or beyond.
Yeah, me too. I hate everyone regardless of race.
I've arrived to the state where I'm only racist towards Russians. That's like only the Russians.
That's fine. That's fine.
Sorry, Russians. Okay, but racism, the way we know it now, it's more of an ideology or based on some kind of rationality.
It's interesting because when I studied about the antebellum period in United States.
Okay.
The period before the Civil War. So
I knew that.
they said I learned that the racism part, in regards to the black slaves, came later.
Right.
First came the subjugation, and then came.
There were African American slave owners.
Yeah. And most of the slave traders were Africans.
Right. I did a dissertation on racism in U.S. sports, and it was actually fascinating to see that the rationale for why whites are superior to blacks at the turn of the century was that whites are stronger than blacks,
right?
And they are like physically they're more capable, and this is why they are superior. But then when the African Americans began to take control of sports, so they had to change the rationale. Okay, they are stronger than us, but we have more endurance because we beat them at marathons. But then the Kenyans began to beat them, so okay, but now we're smarter with books. Okay, but the bottom line is always the same, but the rationale changes.
That's interesting. How much you got for this dissertation?
90.
90?
It was a perfect dissertation. Okay, now we have Gandhi Abbas. That's like Abbas, Mahmoud Abbas and Gandhi combined. Give us Australians a shout out too, mate. Cheers, great video as always. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
And Magyarestik, also from Australia, he says it's 4 a.m. while he was writing this comment, that we are addictive. He's still watching his videos, and he would rate us between Crystal Meth and Game of Thrones with that addictive.
Thanks.
I don't know how to feel about that. Is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dog DR420. Dude, I am from Pakistan, but you did not mention me. I did, just now. Hey, man, why are you lying? Why like this?
Yo, dog.
Pakistan, I would love to go to Pakistan. I'm not sure I would ever be able to go there, but I don't know. He talks about the fact that Pakistan is actually people from Muslim countries, even like in the Far East. Their passport says eligible everywhere, but Israel. So the only country in the world that Pakistanis cannot enter is Israel. This is so weird because we don't have a beef with Pakistan.
I think it's a remnant from the 60s and 70s, which you have this Arab League that boycotted Israel, and
also I think like the farther you go from Israel, like the more they feel that they have to hate us, because I don't know, Palestinians can go into Israel, they meet with us all the time, but the Pakistani leader will not meet Bibi. I don't blame him, but okay. Also, he wonders how many dragons you think will be left when it's all said and done.
None.
0.
They will all
Sorry,
die.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
Okay. RTW fan 1234. He says he digs our accents. It adds flavor and it's understandable. Okay.
Thank you.
He wants to know if we could choose any other historical period than the present, which one would you choose? I would say that if it's not today, I would choose maybe turn of the century France. I don't know, like a Bohemian period, or I would go like to the hunters-gatherers period. And I think that would be awesome. I would love to get mauled by a lion.
You won't survive a minute. A minute. You couldn't see anything.
No, I can go back with my glasses.
Okay, that's cheating.
Actually, if I was born like with my bum knee and like I couldn't see anything, yeah, we like my parents would just abandon me,
throw you out to the river, or something like that. It's a tough question because I want to sit with Aristotle and Socrates, drink some wine, smoke some weed with them. I want to sit. To see some action with Alexander the Great and stuff like that. But to live in an historical period, you have to, in order to improve from what you have today, you need to be born to the noble class, to the 1%. Other way, it won't be fun. You will have to work on it.
Actually, especially for us, like as Jews, I don't know if I would go. Like I would go maybe 20, 30 years, like in Israel.
Yeah, that was a good time.
It was a good time.
The kibbutz.
Kibbutz, yeah, the kibbutz. Come on. With
the girls, with the...
Want to come to my room? Cup of coffee, fuck of tea?
Okay, and Uku Pachakutek, I butchered his name like the last time. He's like a native, he lives in Peru and he's of Native American descent.
So he's from, it sounds like
from
Inca name.
Okay, he wants to know what is your favorite time in history?
For me personally, the ancient world is very, very interesting, because we know little about it. But it's very similar to our world today in a lot of respect. Like it's a global world, and like international commerce, and one place is dependent on another place. Like even the Bronze Age period was like that. Especially here in Israel, in Judea, we don't know a lot about it. And the Second Temple period is very interesting for me.
I like revolutions. I don't know, the American Revolution, the French Revolution, I don't know, the Industrial Revolution, and also like the rise of nationalism. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's interesting, yeah.
Okay, so what is your favorite period in history? Comment. Okay, Navi. Oh, that's another awesome shout out from the region. Hi guys, greetings from far, far, far land of Israel, Tel Aviv. Hello.
Wow. Hello. That's exotic.
That's exotic. Okay, he wants to know if we see any similarities between Japanese history and Game of Thrones history. So not really, but you should read this book, Shogun. That's like the Middle Ages of Japan, feudal Japan, and that's very similar to feudal Europe, which is, I don't know, kind of mind-blowing. And like instead of the fantasy in the story, like the fantasy elements here are the Japanese, which are very exotic to us and very different. And everything that they do, we want to know more. So it's like this unknown fantasy.
When you read about other histories and cultures from like way off people, like so far away between each other, from each other, you see like there is something deterministic in society of the society of humans.
Right.
So in Japan, in the feudal period, there was no central power. So suddenly everything is like balkanized to small political units. And of course, if you have that, so you have intrigues and agenda and betrayals and treason and conspiracies.
Right.
It's
Right.
very
And
similar.
then there's an effort to consolidate
And
the
there was that
powers.
effort,
Right,
yeah.
right.
And they use religion, and they have religious
Right.
symbols, like the emperor need to be like this religious symbol with no
Right.
power. So the shogun, it's like very
It's the same
similar.
everywhere. Yeah, it's a great book. Even Docus.
Even Docus? Even Docus? Two Docus?
Okay, he's from even Docus is in Facebook, and he says, "What Game of Thrones character most reminds you of Bibi?"
Joffrey.
I would say like Roose Bolton, because like he's not like the top guy, even though people think that he is the top guy here, but he has like lords
Yeah.
that do not live here.
Mm-hmm.
So and he can't make all the decisions, but he's pretty good at I don't know, safeguarding his own rule, even
Yeah.
though like he's an asshole.
He's a political genius.
But he's not like the I don't know, he's not like in the top of his pyramid. That's important.
No, he's not. He's not. He's definitely not. He's a puppet, like most politicians, but it's really clear in
Yeah.
the case of Bibi.
He has like a patron that has like a
Yeah.
paper
Yeah.
for him called
And-
like Bibi Ton, Bibi paper.
Yeah, his patron Sheldon Edelson, a casino mogul.
Maybe a mobster even.
Yeah, probably a mobster. Bought a newspaper for him, and of course Bibi is
And he sells it and he gives it away for free.
for free. Yeah,
That's like a pamphlet.
and you know the slogan of this paper, fair and balanced.
Oh my god.
Hmm.
So now you can imagine what kind of paper it
And
is.
this guy, Sheldon Ellison, who is surprisingly very similar to anti-Semitic caricature from the 19th century, surprisingly very similar.
Like he has tentacles all over the world, or whatever.
And yeah,
And he finances this family.
He finances he doesn't shy from it. It's not like a secret. He doesn't
Right.
shy from, he just donated the last election in the United States. He spent something like $100 million.
Like on Gingrich, right? And he said that he offered like the U.S. administration to finance like part of the Israeli defense
Yeah.
against missiles. Like
Yeah.
like a single person says, "Oh, no, I'll give you like
Yeah.
$1 billion."
So he's the true king of Israel now.
And he actually thinks that Israel doesn't have to be a democracy necessarily,
Because it's not in the Bible.
right? Thanks, Sheldon. But if you're looking to finance like a YouTube channel, we are totally prepared to change all our views.
And we are fair and balanced.
Like you're fair and I'm balanced. Hi, this is fair and balanced. Okay. A word of lace. He says that none of us need to shut the fuck up or learn better English. Thank you, Lord. And he asks if we are both atheists.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like an atheist.
There is something about Americans. They have this obsession to be a part of a community. And like, I'm from the Game of Thrones community. I'm from the gay community. I'm from foot fetishers community and whatever. So like they have
Maybe
this
because they
obsession
don't
with
really have it.
definitions of like atheists or stuff like that.
Mm.
It's not
I-
like we define ourselves. That's atheists. We just don't believe in any
Yeah.
God.
I think it's also like a political thing because they have a lot of religion, like a lot of religious people, even liberals. And here, like the secular people, most of them like don't believe in God, but I don't know. They just say we're secular. You don't really talk about if you believe in God or it's just.
It's
just
not
not
that
relevant.
big issue here. Our founding fathers were basically atheists,
Yeah.
like
European atheists.
European atheists, socialist even, or rationalist. All our founding fathers, like of the Zionist, movement as a whole. Like Herzl was like basically an atheist. Jabotinsky was a renowned atheist. Ben Gurion was a Buddhist, basically. Yeah,
That's why he was like upside down.
or a Spinozian, let's say, like basically an atheist.
Okay, 239 wants to know if we are both vegan, and we are both vegan.
95% vegan.
What do you mean? No, we're just kidding.
Sometimes I eat.
What?
I take some tuna for my cat.
not cool. Are you vegan? A lot of vegan greets from Germany. Actually, there are a lot of vegans in Israel,
Yeah.
and like comparatively to other countries. I don't know how is it in your country. Comment.
Because we have hummus and
Falafel.
falafel,
Sabich.
and sabich and all that stuff. Sabich with eggs, but
But
hummus.
you have a vegan sabich.
Yeah, hummus and falafel. It's so good and filling that don't need to eat meat at all.
Do you eat hummus every day?
Almost every day, every week. Yeah,
Every week?
yeah, every week at least. Yeah.
Okay. And if you ever come to Israel, right here in Jaffa, there's the best hummus in the world.
Nah.
I don't know. I haven't been to Damascus, but I think Damascus is ruined now. So
No.
we win. Okay.
It's why we love Tel Aviv, because Tel Aviv is, I think, the only place in the world in which you can get top-notch espresso and top-notch hummus.
Okay, now we have two commenters about the nukes. One says that we should have more nukes, and one that says we should have less nukes. So, do you want more nukes or less nukes? Okay, there were a lot of comments in our timelines video about the Andals being not the Romans, which we suggested, but being more like the Anglo-Saxons.
Because it was more compatible with the timeline we chose, like an outside invader
Right.
that comes and bring something new, like the society and politics and something like that.
And like unifying and the wall. And
Yeah,
whatever.
different gods and stuff like that.
And because the Anglo-Saxons came after the Romans.
Yeah, they came after the Romans, but it's closer to the Anglo-Saxon in the sense that the people today in Westeros are descended by the Andal First Men Corporation.
Right. Okay, so Frazer Watson from Scotland. Hi, Frazer. He asks how long does it take to make one of our videos? Editor looks like he works really hard. And another commenter wants to know if the enormous success of this channel has changed our lives, and what do we do with the money?
Money?
There's no money coming in from YouTube. That's why we have Patreon, because it takes like an hour plus to shoot every video, and we only shoot like after we see 3 times, like on the idea and the script, whatever, and then the editing takes like 4 hours. 4 hours? 10 hours! It takes 10 hours. Oh my god. Okay, so if you enjoy our channel and you wanna help us make it sustainable, please.
Pay up, bitches!
No, that's not how we discussed. Okay, so last question from Axel Branmark, good friend of the show. He says, Itamar is love. Itamar is life. Gil is alright too.
Thanks, Axel.
Whatever.
No, he's right. You're also right. You're all right. No, Gil.
No, I don't mind.
No.
No, okay, you
We love you.
You wrap it up.
We love, right, guys? We love Gil. Comment here. Comment here. Subscribe. And we'll see you next time.